G'day folks, it's Phil from 15 Minute Guitar Practice here. A lot of people ask me, Phil, what should I be practicing? Now it's a super open-ended question there, and I usually decline to answer because the answer really lies within you. You should practice stuff you want to get better at. And if you just say, well, I just want to get generally better, that's not specific enough. My advice to you, if you have that kind of answer at the moment, is to get really, really specific. So an example would be, I want to get better at sweep picking over 4 strings. Right now, I can only do it at 90 BPM, but I'd really like to get up to 160. And I'd like to do that within a month, playing every other day. You see the difference? Okay, you have been as specific as you can. You've given yourself a goal. You've given yourself a benchmark, like where you are right now with it, what tempo, whatever. You've given yourself a target, which in that instance was BPM, and you've given yourself a timeline to do it in. So once you've got down to that kind of stuff, then you can start documenting. Okay, and this is a thing that, people are just too lazy to do. If you've got a goal, set yourself up a spreadsheet and put in the date and what you did and what BPM it was, and also leave space for some notes of like how it feels. What did you observe? What sticking points? Maybe, you kept on accidentally muting a note between the second and the third string. These things, okay? Keep yourself accountable. I can't be there to do that for you, but over time, you will end up with a progress diary. And that's super important for 2 reasons. The first one is to keep yourself accountable, to establish good habits, and to make sure you work on it each and every day or every other day or whatever you set for yourself. But the second reason is for motivation. So many things we do as guitar players mean we advance very slightly each day. And for a lot of us, it feels like we're just not going anywhere. We're just not getting any better. And, it's easy to feel like, oh man, I'm just never going to get this. I just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. I'm no better than I was 3 weeks ago when I started this. So screw it. I'm not doing it anymore. But if you have a document to refer to, and you can go back, and not just a spreadsheet, I would also encourage you to record what you're doing on video, because that is the actual proof. There's 2 things going on in the mind of a guitar player or any practicing musician. One is how you feel about how you're going, and the other thing is how you're actually going in terms of factual progress. And so you can look back on that and go, oh, actually 3 weeks ago, I wasn't that good. And looking what I'm doing now, I'm not there yet, but I'm definitely better. And that helps you continue, helps you stay motivated, helps you stay on target, and helps you realize that it always takes longer than you think. But with all that said, today I'm going to give you a couple of really simple practice routines. This one is going to be a 2-tier system routine, whatever you want to call it. It's going to deal with your chords, and it's going to deal with soloing and improvising. Okay, so let's jump in. So if you need a place to start when you're practicing, here's what I would give you to think about. I'm not recommending you do it because it's up to you, and it really depends on what you want to get good at and where you're at. But this deals with chords and solo and improvisation stuff, so it generally is a good thing to at least have as a basis. People ask, oh, should I do warm-ups? Well, again, it depends. Are you going to be playing for an hour or 3 hours or 5 hours, or do you have like just a spare 10 minutes? If the answer is you've only got a spare 10 minutes, I wouldn't bother with warm-ups, because you're going to spend 5 doing that and then only 5 minutes of actual productive time. So again, it depends. So let's get to this. Here's what I want you to think about. What is the context you want to play in today? And by context, I mean give yourself a musical scenario. If you don't do this, then you are doomed to aimlessly noodling without any progress, without any direction, without any kind of criteria for measuring how you're getting on. And I know so many guitarists who just noodle. And I've heard plenty of instructors recommend that you noodle just to get a feel for things. I disagree with that. Noodling, in my opinion, is a complete waste of your time because it doesn't have any parameters. So, task 1 with your practice is set some parameters. And here's what I'm going to do. I want you to pick 3 chords, and I want you to pick those 3 chords and play them at a ballad tempo. So we're doing 2 things there. 1, we've only got 3 chords to think about. So that's going to help when it comes to improvisation. You know, having 5 chords or 6 chords or more, you're going to have to take into account too many things, and it's going to paralyze you in terms of preventing you from thinking through things fast enough. And that other thing of a ballad tempo reinforces that. It's going to be slow and spacious, so you have the time to think in between chord changes. Okay, so let's look at layer 1, which is the chord work. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is pick 3 chords. If you're new to this, you can pick 2 chords, whatever's good. I'm going to pick 3. I'm going to pick an F, an A minor, and a D minor. And in the very first instance, all I'm going to do, I've got my metronome here on my phone. I'm just going to play it at 96 BPM. And I'm just going to play the chords. Just like that. Nothing complicated. Next, I'm going to change the position of one of the chords. I'm going to pick the F. And I'm going to try playing as many different Fs as I can think of. But keep the other 2 chords, the A minor and the D minor, the same. Also try and keep in time. So here's another F. And then a big one up here. So that's the first exercise. You can extend that by then going back and just playing the F as normal, but changing the A minor. So let me just give you a quick burst of that, because obviously minor chords and minor chord voicings are different. So that's good practice too. But always just change one at a time as you build up. I'm going to change the A minor this time. My first pick is open A minor. That was a root 4. So you get the idea. That is the first level, just changing one of those chords. Now, if that is not challenging enough for you, The next thing you can do is move through some of the triads and inversions of those chords on a particular string set. So, for example, you could just move through the triads and inversions for one of the chords on the top 3 strings. So strings 1, 2, and 3. So let me give you an example with the A minor. So I'll play it normally first. Then move through them on the first, second and third strings. So that's a bit quick. So that's the second layer. And the third layer is moving through the levels of complexity of the chords themselves. Now, if you don't know, there are 5 levels of chords in terms of their complexity. And so the idea is you move through each one. Okay, there's 5 levels. They start at basic triads, and then you move up to the 7th chords, then the 9th chords, 11th, and 13th. If this is all kind of new to you, then check out my course, Complete Chord Clarity, where I'll walk you through all the secrets of chord construction, creating your own voicings, and of course, once you know the ingredients and understand chords at a deeper level, instead of just basically copying chord shapes that are written down in graphics on the internet, you can then better understand how to solo over these chords because you know how to build them, you know how they're constructed, and you know what's going to work. So check out Complete Chord Clarity. Link is in the description below. Back to this. So we're going to move through our 5 levels of chords. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to pick one chord, and each time we go through, we're going to pick the next level up. So let's pick the D minor, because we haven't done the D minor as yet. Here's my metronome at 96 BPM. And then we're going to play F, A minor, D minor. D minor is a 3-note chord. Then we're going to move it up to D minor 7, which is a 4-note chord. Then we're going to play D minor 9, which is the 5-note chord. All the time trying to keep in time with the metronome. Next is D minor 11. Hear the difference in color? Next is D minor 13. And back to D minor again. Okay, so once you've done this chord work, level 1, that's going to stand you in good stead for what we're about to do, which is trying to improvise around the chord shapes. So keep in mind we've got this and we've got this and all of these things going on. So see what comes up with. Okay, so there you go. Not my best work, not my worst work, but it's work in progress. And we all have to just deal with the fact that sometimes we're not at our best. But this process is designed to help us move forward incrementally. So that's all from me today. If you've enjoyed this lesson, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Let me know in the comments below what your practice routines are and what you find works for you. This is Phil from 15 Minute Guitar Practice saying bye for now. Cheers.